update. I planted one pepper plant. My pepper plants never produce for me. I'll get like one pepper per season. But MI Gardener is a channel I follow. And he says to take off early fruiting, which I believe this is what this is. This is a bud of some sort that's going to flower and become a fruit. So we're going to pull that off so that the plant can focus more of its energy on growing bigger. So maybe that will help. Okay, when I made my first gardening vlog, I neglected to mention that I did actually plant the beans. Whoops. I planted the beans and they're all coming up at various stages. So there was 6 spots that had beans, and you can see 6 spots that now have bean plants coming up. So that's good. So I'd say all my Dollar Tree seeds were a success thus far. And all of my types of zinnias also came up. I got to get those flowers off the tomatoes. I don't want them setting fruit yet either. But I don't feel like opening the gate right now. I'll do that later. It's kind of a crummy day. This is my bent fence. If you remember the swing, which I will slowly turn the camera. The swing is up there. And last year, it landed here in a big storm. So it bent our fence, but for the most part, the fence is still functional, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. No one looks over here anyway. It's just an old veggie garden. Nobody cares. You can't really see it anyway. But strawberries are looking good. Lots of strawberries coming. Seemingly on the new plants. Well, I guess there's some on the older plants. These are the first plants here. We have more of our strawberries on the newer plants from those are the ones that I transplanted last year. That kind of row right there. And then these are the ones that like shot out themselves from the old plants. They all have spots on them. I don't know a lot about strawberries, so I don't know what those spots are, but they still produce. I'm guessing it's some kind of fungus, but if anybody knows spots on strawberries, you see them? They're like a reddish spot. Let me see if I can get better. This one has a lot. See that? Let's see if I can focus. So yeah, I don't know what those spots are. I'm guessing it's a fungus, but they still grow, so I don't know. Not sure what to do about that. Okay, this should be it for the year. I got the Sweet Alyssum to do my dish garden, but it was cheaper to buy a flat. I wanted 8 packs, but they were like $3 a pack, or it was $22 for a flat. So it's actually cheaper to buy a flat and get, I think it's 12 4-packs. And I was like, I don't need all of that Sweet Alyssum for my dish garden. So then I got this and this and this. I'm going to put some in pots that are still kind of empty. So, and then I needed a new coconut liner, and I got some straw for the veggie garden and a thing of potting soil that I need to drive up to pick up. So that should be the last of my plantings for the year, which is always sad, but you know, it is what it is. Now we just get to watch it grow. Oh, I also got a package of seeds for dill, but that's in my purse. Okay, it's evening and I'm out here in my backyard because I don't get to do a lot during the week because I work. And so I'm out here in the back. I have plants that I need to plant. I have plants that someone gave me unexpectedly that I also need to plant. So between today and tomorrow morning, I want to get all that done. What I'm doing right now, I just got, I'll show you in a second. I had bought last year, well, let me get the old one. Hold on. Okay, so last year I bought these solar not bird fountains, but solar water fountains, which I just put in some big bowls from the thrift store and use them kind of as like, they haven't really been bird baths, even though that was the original intention. Now I just like them because I like water features on the deck. And so this one died though. The other one I have is down in the garden. That one is going strong. So this one only lasted a season. It lit up at night. It was very cool. But I don't know if that like drained the battery more or something. So I just got another of the basic ones. This is basically what I have down below. So I just picked up another one. I ordered it from Amazon. They're like, I think like $13 or something. And so I'm going to rinse out my bowl and get this set up because I like to have it on the table here because I sit here a lot in the morning and I do work here, and I just like the sound of the bubbly fountain. It's not like a big fountain, but it's, sorry, my neighbors are playing, but it's like a nice bubbler type of sound. So I like that. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up and get it set up. It's probably not gonna bubble too much tonight because it hasn't had time to charge and it's really overcast. So we'll check it out tomorrow and see if it works. I'm sure it will. I don't have any reason to think it won't. I should add, I did clean it out with soap and water recently, and but the dust that was in it is just pollen because it was sitting here dry for like 2 days. So it is clean. I just needed to rinse out the dust and the leaves. Penny, that's not for you. And it is actually bubbling already. I'll take the camera down so you can see. My new hose nozzle makes everything sudsy. It's very strange. I don't know why. It's not sudsy. It just looks that way from the hose. But anyway, that's what it does. And it doesn't like splash or anything, so it's just a nice sound here on the table. Okay, the next thing I want to get done, I bought this at a yard sale. It's just a little colander. And I attached the little chains from a Dollar Tree hanging basket. And the idea here is that you can then plant in it because it has lots of drainage, obviously. And so I'm going to plant this and hang this on the rake in my veggie garden. Saw it on Pinterest, not my idea, but really excited to get this done. So I have these flowers that I bought and they're so dry. I bought them when I bought all my other annuals and I just never got them planted. So I always buy portulacas in honor of my mom. They were her favorite annual. And in New Jersey, they would spread a lot and sometimes even come back the next year. Here it's a little too cold for that, but I do always plant them in her honor every year. So I'm gonna get some dirt, fill this up, put some of these. So I've got it all full of potting soil. I'm just gonna stick these in. And then I have 2 cosmos here. These will get kind of tall, but I think I might just stick them in just because I need to put them in somewhere. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick these in. I can always take them out if they get too big or something. They are also really in bad shape because I never planted them once I bought them. I do that sometimes. Okay, these are some of the plants that were given to me by a friend of Maddie's. This is mint, I believe. Yes. Yep. And yes. And she said this is pretty prolific, that it will spread if it's in the ground. I'm going to try putting it in this little hanging pot that I have, which I'm also going to hang on my rake in the garden. I'll see if that works. I don't see why I wouldn't. And then that keeps it from taking over the garden. Maybe. Probably not, but we'll try it anyway. So I'm going to fill this with dirt and put the mint in it. Okay, I changed the angle just a little bit. Hope that doesn't throw you off, but go ahead and get these planted. Oops. Guys, I'm such a mess. Making a mess. Okay, so I have those in here. I'm gonna get them watered and hung up, and then I'll show you both of the things that I just hung on the rake. Okay, so here they are. They're so cute hanging on the rake. And of course, they'll look so much better once the plants actually grow. But this will provide good drainage because portulacas don't like to be wet. They'd rather be dry than wet. And that will contain the mint. And even if it seeds, it'll just seed kind of down by the asparagus. So I think that'll be good. Maybe I'll make a cute little sign that says like garden or something. I don't know. And I'm gonna make some signs here with the names of the crops that I'm growing this year. And I might as well, sorry, I'm out of breath. I need an inhaler, my asthma inhaler. But I might as well show you the update. I put straw down just to keep the moisture in. It's supposed to block some weeds. But look at my zinnias. They're doing great. And here's the beans. Beans are doing great. I probably should separate these because when I planted them, it said put 2 in each hole in case one doesn't, you know, grow, but they all grew. Yay, Dollar Tree. So now I have like a little bit of crowding, but I'll probably just leave them alone. The tomatoes haven't done a lot yet. Honestly, we haven't had a lot of heat. It hasn't been very warm, and tomatoes like heat. But I have been pruning them. You can see I took all the flowers off, so they won't set any fruit yet. And same, cucumbers haven't done too much yet. And here's these zinnias. And then look at all the strawberries we're gonna get. Tons. Now, something is eating my strawberries. Where is it? Here. To me, I think that might be beetle damage, because it almost looks like that, what do they call it? Delacing or lacing or whatever, but I'm not sure. And again, you see the red spots. I don't know what those are. Still need to read up on it. But yes, that is where the veggie garden is. I'm also going to be putting some more herbs in here in little buckets that will hang on the posts. And then we'll be making use of vertical space also. But the mint is the start. Oh, and then I have other things to show you. Hold on. Okay, first of all, this is our new hammock swing. Got it at Aldi for $18. The kids love it. They love it. I love it. It's great. Has like a pocket for reading a book or like your phone or whatever. Put that in there. It's really, really nice. And this gets shade in the afternoon. So that's why we put it there. But here are my flowers. And here's my little mint garden. Sorry, herb garden, not mint. And I love this. I don't know if I told you about this. This is the bottom of a chimenea, but I love the legs. It just looks old-fashioned. I mean, it wasn't, you know, it's just made to look that way, but I think it makes a really pretty planter. And because of this, it's not watertight. So it, you know, because this is actually like a drain. So what I did was I filled it with pea gravel, several inches, and then put the dirt on top. And the herbs are doing great in there. So I have curly parsley. I'm gonna make cute tags for these, I think, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Curly parsley, basil, 2 kinds of basil, purple and the regular kind right there, sweet. And then mojito mint and spearmint, and the kind of mint I planted in the garden, I think, is peppermint. And then this is lemon balm. So yeah, I love this thing. I'm really pleased with the look of it. So yeah, that's been doing great. This plant is poisonous to Penny. That's why it's down here. These are poisonous to Penny. That's why they're down here. So everything that's not poisonous to dogs is now up on the deck. And anything that could be harmful is up and out of her reach. I just have to make sure if flowers fall off, she doesn't eat them, but she's not over here very much. And the pepper, which also likes heat, is not doing much yet, but hopefully it will. So, not much yet. It's still early. Ooh, we've got a cosmos. This is one that I planted. It's an annual. My first bloom from them, yay. This is starting to bloom also. And I'd like to get one more big blue hosta to put there. That's a blue one. They call it blue, it's green, but it's a bluish green. So I'd like to have another one over here. And I kept them covered until they were big, and the bunnies didn't mess with them as much yet. We'll see if they do, but they haven't. And then I'm gonna plant some shade lovers in here because this is a very shady garden. And I have those, I just have to get it done. Okay, now I have this one I just mentioned I'm gonna plant in this. I don't know what this was originally for, if it was like a, I don't know, if it was just decorative. No idea. But I drilled holes in it a few years ago, and I just like to plant in it each year. Probably could use a spray painting, but not this year. I'd like to maybe brighten up the color again. It used to be a nice bright green, but you know, the sun fades everything. So I'm gonna fill this up and put some shade lovers in it, or at least ones that will do okay in the shade, because yeah, it's a really shady garden that I just showed you. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, I have it filled with dirt. I wanted to mention, Chris is building me a potting shed, a potting bench. So hopefully next year when I do these kinds of videos, I won't have to just do it randomly, like on a table or whatever. I'll actually have my own little spot. It's gonna be great. Super excited about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and plant the plants. There's a fern I need to get. It's over on the other side of the house. It's getting too much sun. It is an annual, but it's getting more sun than I expected. So I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna plant these, the coleus. Coleus can do sun, but they also can do shade, and begonias can also do both. So I'm gonna stick those in there. Again, these got really dry, but they'll be fine. I get them into dirt ASAP. I do not live in the country, can you tell? All right. It's actually pretty quiet right now because it's a Friday night. So all the traffic has gone away. People here in Minnesota, they go to their cabins on Fridays and they stay at their cabins the weekend. We do not have a cabin, so we do not do that, but a lot of people do. Here's the pot. And the last thing I want to do before I'm done for the night, because it's going to start to get really mosquito-y. So I'm going to go inside soon, but this is where I took the fern out of, and I want to put something else in here that can tolerate a little more sun, because I do still want a hanging plant on the other side of the deck where I took this from. So I got this plant, Summer Wave Large Blue Terrania. And I've had this before and it tolerates some sun. So I am going to put this in the pot and let it hang over the sides. I thought that would be pretty. And then I think it should do better than the fern. These are actually I'm reusing these. These are what some hanging pot plants came in, but it was cheaper this year to buy big hanging plants and separate the flowers to fill my pots than to buy lots of flowers to fill my pots, except for the flats of flowers that you saw maybe earlier in the video or in another video. I don't remember at this point. But anyway, so that's why I have all these pots. Some of them I'm using with some of the plants from the stores, and then some of them I'm just reusing. So got to use what you have, right? Okay, so here's the plant. And I think it's going to do better. I think it will do better than the fern. The fern was just kind of frying. Not that it gets like tons of sun, but it gets enough morning sun that it was too much for the fern. Okay, I have to say this new fountain works better than either of the older ones that I had. Both the one that died and the one that's down in the garden. You can see that one down there. Once the sun goes down or it's not in direct sunlight, it just goes blub, blub. But this one is going strong and it's dusk. So I'm impressed, and I didn't even charge it. This is like right out of the box. So if I think of it, I'll have to link the one that I just got in the description of this video. I'm not sponsored, but if it's something that you're interested in, this would definitely be the one to get. This is the third one I've had, and it definitely seems to work the best as far as working when the sun's not out. So that's pretty cool. A pleasant surprise. I was figuring it would just be like the one in the garden that turns off, you know, once the sun goes down. But it's nice to be able to sit out here at dusk and still hear the water. I'll be quiet so you can hear it. Very pleasant. Anyway, I'll link it.